Ray Tensing is the University of Cincinnati police officer who killed Sam DuBose in a routine traffic stop, and he is now awaiting trial. But he's not going to be waiting in jail. He's already made bail, despite the fact that his bail was set initially at $1 million. His father, Paul, a retired firefighter, paid the $100,000 surety payment, which is 10% of the bond, to secure his release until trial. But even if his father had not had the $100,000 to pay for that, they probably wouldn't have had much trouble getting the money, because apparently lots of people online, as is always the case with these sorts of situations, have been lining up to help him out. Now, his attorney says, I'm not prepared to do anything like that, referring to raising the online money for the bail before they got it, or for the legal defense. But there are a lot of people who are prepared to help. His family is attempting to raise it through family members. I'm not sure where we are with it. And so they already have the bail. They might well end up raising hundreds of thousands or even $1 million if you are a cop in America. And if you legitimately or illegitimately kill a black man, you will raise more than $1 million in America. That seems to be a fact.
How do you illegitimately kill? Do you do it without a condom? What does that mean? You're not legitimately killing someone?
I mean, like, you did not need to do it.
Oh, okay.
It was not an actual defense of your life or anything like that.
Okay, you mean a defensible?
Defensible, sure,
okay.
Yes. But now, in the wake of him getting bail, we're finding out that he apparently, Tensing, is having kind of a hard time with it. His attorney is saying that the toll, the stress, has certainly started to affect him. There have been apparently some serious threats made against his client. Tensing is almost like a zombie. This morning he asked me several procedural questions, which I answered. And then a minute later he asked me the same questions, like it's not registering. He's kind of in a trance.
Yeah, you know who's having a hard time with this whole thing? DuBose, who's dead. Right, so he's having a real tough time with it. Yeah. So I like how we're all now shift the focus to the sympathy on the cop, right? Mm-hmm. So let's break this down in a couple ways. First off, I don't know anything about bail and bond. I thought $1 million bail meant $1 million bail. What, you could only post 10% of it and you're out?
As many people know, I'm not a lawyer, but I have very often heard the 10% figure, like a bail bondsman or whatever needs 10%.
So why don't we just call the bail $100,000?
No, but I do think, I think that they can end up having to pay it under certain situations.
Yeah, I get it. The guy runs and then you're on the hook for $1 million. But he's a firefighter. He doesn't have the $1 million. Right. I don't know how he has $100,000. The good news is apparently the unions in this country are working because the firefighters now have $100,000 to put up at a moment's notice.
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, good. All right, now on the issue of people who want to donate to him, which is the heart of this issue. Why? Like, what's going on with you guys? I mean, look,
our world.
Even the Cincinnati police, even like cops in Ohio are like, boy, that tape was bad. I mean, he just shot him straight in the head. It was obvious he was unarmed. It was, I mean, look, you could argue maybe he might have had a weapon if they got into a standoff, if the car had taken off, and la la la. But at the time that he shot him in the head, we all knew he did not have a weapon, right? It's on the tape, and that's why they charged him with murder, right?
And that's why he had to lie and say he was being dragged by the car because he knew that what he did was wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now,
case closed.
No, I think he understood it as soon as it happened. He probably realized, oh, I'm not supposed to instantly shoot someone in the head.
Right.
When they're driving off. And really fast, that's the thing that shocks me the most, is that the defenders of him, they keep saying, well, he was driving off. He was trying to get away. And I'm thinking, I didn't know that if somebody tries, let's say he was definitely trying to drive off. He was trying to get away. He didn't want the ticket he would have gotten. You don't get to execute him.
Shoot him in the head.
Yes, it is inconvenient to have to get back into your car and chase him, or to get on the radio and say, meet me at such and such a location. That's inconvenient. It ruins your day as a cop. You don't get to execute him to save time.
Now, wait a minute. Cliven Bundy was trying to get away. In fact, he pulled weapons on government officials and said, if you try to come here and take what I owe the government, I will fire at you and kill you, right? So under these guys' logic, I mean, and Bundy, we know was armed. We've got it on tape, right? We can see it. He's got the pictures. He pointed it at cops. Then I assume the right-wingers who were supporting Tensing say that the cops should have just gone up and boom, one in the head for Cliven Bundy. He's dead. Hey, he had it coming, right? Mm-hmm. And then every one of the guys on the ranch with the weapons or no weapons, this guy didn't even have a weapon. Boom, 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 execute them all in the head. That's what you want, right? Now, we don't want that, but apparently you're perfectly comfortable with it. You're so comfortable with it, you're willing to donate money to that guy for his bail. That's unbelievable to me. But think about it, right? Look, you can think, many different things. You can say, well, the cop in the beginning, he was kind of polite and he was just asking. I said that, right, when we did the video. He shouldn't have done that and it was a mistake. He wasn't a racist. You can think those things, that's fine. But we saw on tape that he executed him. He's charged for murder. Executed meaning not like he meant to kill him. He doesn't know DuBose, so he happened to be in that situation. But what motivates you to think, I got to take my hard-earned dollars and make sure that guy who killed an unarmed black man is out on bail, like he's out and free and can roam around? What is it about that? Are you celebrating? And are you like, well, if he executed an unarmed black guy, man, I want to give him my hard-earned money. So what is? I guess that's what they. I'm amazed by that.
I'm going to guess racists, right?
Probably yes.
Right. So that's an obvious answer. There's a lot of racists. There's a lot of hate organizations. That's who those people are, right? He killed the black guy. Good. Let's give him some money.
By the way, I think the guys giving money to Cenk have the potential, even if you're saying definitely, I'm saying have the potential, I'm being kind, of being far more racist than Cenk himself. Yeah. Like Cenk got caught up in this situation. They get trained, shoot. He panicked for a second and shot the guy and killed him. He shouldn't have done it. We're going to go to court. We're going to figure out if that's murder or if it's negligent homicide. What is it? We're going to figure that out, right? But guys who are like, I got to give money to the guy who shot the black guy in the head. Well, you knew what was happening. That wasn't a split-second decision. You're like, let me get out my checkbook here. Okay, I love this guy. I'm going to go ahead and, you know what I'm saying?
And that's also presupposing that cop wouldn't do that to you if you were in that same situation.
Well, they assume,
or
especially the very racist people that he's talking about, they think, it wouldn't be me.
Right.
I'm white.
That's exactly right.
Subconsciously,
and in a lot of cases, they're probably right.
And at the same time, they'll pretend to be outraged if you say that they're racist or that there's any racism in the country at all.
Yeah.
But then they'll think, well, it wouldn't be me. Right? Why wouldn't it be you?
Cenk,
because they might do it to a black guy, but they wouldn't do it to a white guy. No racism. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
We've covered, I don't even know how many instances of killings like this or beatings like this. We've seen the tapes over and over and over, so many different people. I can't think of one, no matter how obvious it was that the cop was not doing what he was supposed to be doing, that did not have defenders. Like, they can do the most indefensible stuff, but then in the end, they do actually get defenders. And in this case, where we see the video, this could be another case of what JR had been talking about earlier. I believe it was with Eric Garner. Like, if this doesn't get people to understand what's going on, apparently the body cameras don't do shit. Like, it doesn't matter if you have the footage, because we're watching the footage and we see what happened, but racists are still going to defend him. He might still get off.
But to be fair, no. The body camera made an enormous difference here. He's charged with murder, okay?
No, I agree, but I'm saying
if we didn't have the body camera, he's not charged with anything.
I get that, but I'm
he
saying
says,
if
he
the end
hit
result
me,
is
he
the
dragged
same.
me with the car, I was in fear of my life. No one questions that cop.
Yeah.
There's no camera, no one questions him. He can go kill 3 other people and no one will question him about that. He's got a camera, at least he's being brought up on charges. Yeah. I know what you're saying, John, is with some people, it doesn't matter.
And I'm saying the end
Nothing
result
will ever
still
matter.
matters.
Yeah.
But also, so you were talking about how he initially claimed that he had been dragged, and Jimmy referenced that too. Now, he wasn't the only one that did that. There were 2 other officers who were on the scene. Who knows if they actually saw with their own eyes what happened, but they claimed that he too fired only after being dragged. It was in self-defense. He was underneath the car, and somehow in self-defense he shot. Those 2 police officers who we now know were lying, either lying and saw it and knew that they were lying, or simply covered up for him even though they hadn't seen what happened. Either way, they were lying. There will be no charges against those 2 police officers.
No charges.
No charges whatsoever, despite the fact that they were knowingly or unknowingly covering up for murder.
No, but to be fair, guys, I mean, if you lie to the cops or the FBI, they're not going to charge you.
No,
and they know it for a fact. They've got evidence, video evidence showing you lying. They'll just be like, oh, well, that was in the past. Mm-hmm. We only look forward. We don't look backward, right?
Yeah.
You think cops might play under different rules, Jimmy? You think that might be the case?
I think there might be 2-tier system of justice in America. But, Cenk, I want to make the point that 99.9% of all cops are good.
Yeah.
Okay,
so what we're saying here doesn't mean anything.
That's what Wolf Blitzer
That's what Wolf
did.
Blitzer says.
No, just a few bad apples and every other apple that supports them.